We love to believe that we are totally in charge, that we decide what's going to happen and how we're going to do it and what's for lunch and where you're going to eat and if you're going to have that chocolate cake and if your child is going to go to medical school or law school. We like to believe that we are totally in charge. For any one decision to be made, like I want to eat eggs for breakfast, those eggs actually have to be in your fridge, which means the farm that supplies them has to have the eggs, which means the chicken has to lay them. There is a chain of events that, prior decisions that take place in order for you to take ownership of your decision. The eggs land up on your plate. Yes, they do. But did you really put them there? How much of it is you? And how much of it is this connection with the world that we live in? We are connected with people, with events, and with things more than we realize. Love to believe that we are in charge. We love to believe that we are in charge. And we're collecting data all the time, researching all the time, Like, you're going to Mexico? Okay, let's research. What is the best air balloon ride? What is the best way to go here? What is the best way to go there? But you never make allowances for eating too many churros. Correct? Yeah. One little thing can happen that can throw it all off. And you can't do any of it. You can't do any of it. And you fall sick. And this whole trip that you meticulously plan, first I'll go here, then I'll go there, then I'll go here, then I'll do this, then I'll have this experience, that experience. First we're going to eat here, we're going to watch this show, we're going to go to Bellas Artes, going to do this, do that. So many things we plan for ourselves. And if the stars are in alignment, it goes well. Yeah. And then you can claim ownership and say, I did it. I arranged my life. I arranged this wonderful trip. You're lucky that the performance started on time. You're lucky that the lady that made your tortillas washed her hands after she came from the bathroom. You're lucky if the Uber driver doesn't, take all the cash that you have and run away. So many things have to work in your favor for you to just claim ownership of any one thing. And all these executive decisions that take place, like, Steve Jobs grew Apple. Seriously, he did it all by himself, with no help from anybody else. It was just him, and that's it. How many people needed to sweat? How many people needed to, take further smaller decisions for that one big decision of a phone to be brought out to happen? We don't give credit for all the steps in the process, right? When you take a decision to do anything, it can be as simple as eating eggs, or it can be as complicated as switching your home, buying a new house to live in. You look at the real estate market, you look at the prices, you look at the state of your house, you look at the state of your income. There are many, many, many steps involved, all of which are important. Then you sell your house. Like that. Just like that. You get an offer and you sell. That's the very last step in the process. And you say, I sold my house. Take ownership. You think that everything happened just because you said it did. you don't even know you're taking 0 decisions for your body. You are not telling the heart to beat. You are not telling the liver to purify your body. You are not telling your lungs to breathe. It's happening on its own. Now, those are the really main decisions. When that heart decides to stop beating, no matter what you decide, you think you're deciding, it's over. It's over. It's over. And we think that, oh, I'm in charge of my body. I'm going to go exercising every morning. I'm going for a walk every morning. I've taken full control over my health. Well, good for you. You think that just by walking every day, you're going to keep in perfect health. There are many other pieces to the puzzle. You have to sleep well. You have to eat well. You have to fast a little bit. You have to choose the right types of food. You have to have good genes. So many things that contribute to feeling healthy or to being healthy. You have to meditate. You have to breathe. And I'm so glad you took that decision to go for a walk. That's one part of it. Now you have to pay attention to the other parts of it. You have to pay attention to the other parts of it. And not one decision that you make is all yours. Not one single decision that you make is yours. Maybe that last step where you say, okay, I'm going to do this in one flash. And how do decisions happen? You think that decisions, you ponder, and then they actually happen like that. Very quickly. That last step is taken very, very quickly. But so many other things contribute to it. There was actually a video that I watched about, neural pathways. So if I tell you to raise your right hand, right? They check to see I don't know what exactly they check, but there is some signaling in the brain even before you lift your hand. So there is a decision-making process that takes place inside your brain before you think you have raised your hand. Something inside already happens, and then you raise your hand. Every conscious decision that we make has got a series of subtle and unconscious platforms, foundations under it. There's a lot of things that are happening that you don't even know about. We like to believe we're experts on everything. But if you take the whole body of knowledge and you really start studying, you'll start studying and realize how little you know. The more you study, the more is the realization that you don't know anything. Oh my God, there's so much more to know. There's so much more to know. There's so much more to know. Some people cannot take decisions. They simply cannot take decisions. They vacillate between choices. And the beauty about life, about pure consciousness, is always offers choices. You do this or you do that. And if you take this path, there's going to be some problems along the way. And if you take this path, something else is going to open up. Sometimes the decision to do nothing is one of the biggest decisions that you take. in the face of injustice, many people keep quiet. Many people keep quiet. I had my own experience of this when I was at the gym that I've been to for 10 years, surrounded by people I wish and greet every day, every single day. They know me, I know them. One person in the gym decided that he was going to abuse me, and not one person turned around or came to my assistance. Not one. Keeping quiet is a decision people take because they don't want to get involved. They don't want to be part of it. They don't want to get involved in anything that, could turn nasty. It requires an act of courage to decide to do what's right. Doing what's right and what's morally fit, what's good, not just for you, but for the other person, for the community, for the world at large. These things require a lot of moral strength, a lot of inner strength. It is not easy. It is sometimes easier to kowtow to the bully, to bend and say, okay, let me just hide under a rock. And that's what people do all the time. That is a decision too. That is a decision too, and it is one that has far-reaching effects. Because to pure consciousness, the Holocaust or the war in Ukraine is the same as the political fight in the US or the decision to make eggs or bread. It's all stuff that happens. Small things that happen. If you look at your life, things happen and you respond to it. Things happen and you respond to it. This is what life is. Those happenings are not always in your control. Those happenings are not in your control. I watched, everybody's going to think I watch a lot of videos, but I do. I watched a video where these people said they got on a bus to experience their native country, Sri Lanka, as it's supposed to be, surrounded by people and everything like that. And halfway into the journey, one of the people felt nauseous, so they took them off the bus. And finally they got a ride on another bus, and when they went like 2 kilometers down, the bus that they were on had gone off the cliff. Imagine that. Every time you come home safe, every time you say, I am, you get the freedom to say, I am, you are privileged. Because you get to live this life right now, this moment. It is a wonderful thing. And if there's one decision that you need to take, I would say that decision should be to always be present. Show up every moment. And it doesn't matter what the moment brings. It can be a moment filled with a lot of anxiety. It can be a moment filled with terror. It can be a moment filled with pure joy. It can be a moment filled with anxiety. It can be happiness. It can be depression. It can be nothing. Whatever it is, let this moment be yours. Decide to make this your decision. The decision to be present and the decision to be happy. Happiness is your birthright. If there's one decision you should take this one. Take this one. Make this your choice to say that I decided to be happy. Although really happiness was always yours. You just clouded it with a lot of other stuff, a bunch of other stuff. Lots of videos, lots of TV, thing, chattering, calling on the phone. When you drop all of that and you show up, it's all yours. And then you really don't have to take decisions to do things. Things show up. Things happen. I mean, at least this has been my experience. I have never found that I'm not provided for. Whatever I have needed has always showed up. And when you have that comfort, not many have it. Not many have it. When you have that comfort, then your only decision should be being happy. Om Namah Shivaya.